Okay, the next part I'm going to work on here is the bracket that the motor mounts to, that mounts to the head itself. So this is where you put the motor on one side and you can tighten the belt against it going to the head. So first thing I'm going to do here is just degrease it in my parts washer. And now a quick rinse with some hot water to get the simple green off. Okay, I'm just going to blow it off with some compressed air to get this a little dry and get all the water off it. Okay, now I'm going to try to remove these posts from this. It might be a little difficult because my sockets don't quite fit in there, but I'm going to see if they're loose enough that I can just pull them off. Okay, this one's coming off. Okay, so these posts I'm going to clean up on my lathe. I think it'll be the fastest and easiest way to clean them. Maybe a wire brush, but for now I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this citrus strip to this casting to get all the paint off of it. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit for a couple hours and come back to it later. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and try to clean these posts up a bit using my wire brush here, brush wheel. I think this should do a good job. Just take all this old scale and grease and junk off. So the wire wheel worked really nice with these rods, really good. I'm just going to do a final clean with some acetone, get them nice and clean, and then set them aside until I finish the rest of this part. Okay, so these rods are all done. I'll set these aside. Okay, so I let this paint stripper sit in for a few days, and I'm just going to grind all the paint off here. Okay, so I got all the paint off this. It was a bit more work than I thought it would be. Maybe I just left that citrus strip on for too long or something, but I was able to get it off with the sandblaster and a couple of grinding tools. So now I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up with some acetone, prepare it for some paint. Okay, there's nothing to mask off on this part, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray it with some primer here. Okay, just flipping this over and painting the other side here. Okay, now for some actual paint. Okay, that's had a chance to dry. I'll flip this over and then paint the other side. Okay, so I'm working on mounting the actual motor to the motor mount itself. And this has been kind of a problem because the original mounts that came with the drill press, they're just completely deteriorated, just falling apart. So I tried trying to find some online, but I just couldn't find any at all. I'm sure there's a way to find them, but I just couldn't figure it out. But I was fortunate. I had in stock this old Emerson motor, and it just happened to have the exact same mounts that are required, so I just pulled them off there. Wasn't using this for anything, it was just kind of a parts motor, so I'm happy not to have to go out and order anything special, so I can work on restoring the motor mount now. And so I just did a real quick fit up to see how these mounts fit, and it looks like they fit perfectly, so that should work just great. I'm just going to clean this off with some acetone before I bring it out to the sandblaster. Even removing the top layer of paint here, which is make it a little easier. Well, this mounting bracket cleaned up really nice in the sandblaster there, so I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up with some acetone. Okay, it's all clean. I'm going to hit it with some primer now. And now I'm just going to prime the other side here. I'll let that dry overnight, and now I'm going to put some enamel paint on it. Okay, now I'm going to paint the other side. Okay, now I'm just going to clean up these mounting brackets in my wire wheel here. Okay, now I've got these brackets all polished up. I'm going to clean them up with some acetone and spray them with some clear coat just so they don't rust in the future. Now put coat on their side. And I'm just going to start reassembling the motor mounts here. Set this aside for a bit, and I'm going to put the motor back in its bracket. Over at the head here, I got some new thumb screws to be able to easily tighten this. It was missing the original screws anyway, they were just kind of mismatched. So I'm going to go ahead and put this part on. Okay, and I'm going to mount the motor to this. A bit heavy, but try to manage it. Okay, so now I've got the motor all mounted up. It's starting to look like a nice, little more complete machine here, which is great. I got these thumb screws so that I can easily loosen the mount to detension the belt, and then retension the belt as necessary when that time comes and to get the rest of the parts on it. The motor is just mounted just at a random location right now. I'll actually put it up at the correct height whenever I put the belts on and figure out what height that should be. But yeah, for now this is starting to look pretty great, so I'm pretty happy with it. I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching.